Well, howdy. Welcome back once again to the Withlacoochee River Railroad. And today we're going to be doing another episode of Weathering 101. Here's the... I owe everybody an apology for yesterday's video. It was really a horrible video once I got it put together and everything, and in the... And actually, I went ahead and actually uploaded it. I probably should have rethought that. I kept getting in the way of the camera and blocking the view, and that's really just very unacceptable videography. And I do apologize to everyone who witnessed that. So, since we're past the hoppers already, I'm just going to go ahead and make it the gondolas today. One of the things that's always driven me up the wall since I started buying gondola cars is the fact that they are so shiny and new looking. And, well, you know, especially that beautiful Chinese red CB&Q gondola there. That's a beautiful car. Absolutely gorgeous car, and it's got the covers with it and everything, and that's one car I really like, and that's one car that I know, because I've done it in HO scale and I've done it in O scale before, that Chinese red will just weather up just beautifully, no question of it. So with that being said, I'm going to start with the covers, and we're just going to weather those basic, well, with the normal dirt and grime and stuff, but we also want to get a little bit of rust on those. But in this instance, I'm going to kind of start from the inside out, because there's one thing that's true about gondola cars. All gondola cars. You can't have a pristine inside with a weathered up outside. You know what I'm saying? This part in here should not be pristine. This should be this should be pretty well weathered up. And this is these gondolas. They have what's called a wood decking. So I don't have that kind of wood to sit there and make an extra deck for it and stain it. But I think that something definitely needs to be done about that. I don't really have a wood colored paint I can use. I can probably mix something together to kind of give us a wood color. I do have some classic caramel, but still, I'm not so sure about that. But one of the things that I'm going to do is come over it. I've got the airbrush here. Ah, the trusty airbrush. Okay. All right, I've got some of this Model Air, and I think what I'm going to do here, this car would have been new in, well, gee, that says 8 of 99. Well, it's possible, I guess. Oh well, the mill gondolas, they still have that look about them that they've been around forever, so. The look of a gondola car hasn't really changed that much. Let me get this paint shook up, and we'll hop to it right away. And I'm going to do my best not to end up in front of the camera like this, like I did in yesterday's video. That really was kind of a piss poor type thing there, wasn't it? Let's see, I've got several other Okay, I got engine gray. I got plenty of steel. I got all kinds of steel. I got dark gray. I've got scarlet red, which, yeah, okay. Light brown and whole red. And, of course, naturally, I've still got the craft paints as well. These here, it's my understanding that they will work fine in the airbrush without being mixed. So we shall find out. If I need to put a little water in there, I will. All right. Now let me test this out. Yeah, it's working. All right. All right. Yeah, it gives it a nice you turn those around so that we can, that stuff sprays pretty nice, you know. I don't think Dana's carries any of this Vallejo type paint anymore. That's to help, you know, with the worn off paint look and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get on the inside of this car. And I'm hoping you can see it. I just want the paint kind of wore off. I don't want to end up, damn, this car is heavy. It's a die-cast car. We don't want to end up with a, we're not trying to put a paint job on the car, but you know, these cars, they carry some bulk loads. Sometimes they carry loads that need the sides to kind of protect the sides of the car. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this Rock Island car. So I'm not looking for a real smooth paint job in there. I just want to wear the paint down a little bit. Look like it's worn down to the steel. That way when I go to put the rust in, the rust will look more natural up against that steel background, if you're getting my drift. And this here is just worn off paint. You know, it's worn off over the years. Alright, now I'm going to clean out the airbrush, and we're going to go to probably more of a rust color. Although I think maybe I better just go to the more of the black type colors and stuff first. Alrighty. Let me get this airbrush cleared out. The nice thing about the Vallejo paints is they are acrylics. I believe those are Vallejos. They're Model Air, so... I should have dumped that paint first before putting the alcohol in. I guess I put too much paint in. Hey, like I said, it's, you know, back in my day, when we were using airbrushes back in the 70s and 80s, when they became popular, that's all beginning to finally wash out now. That stuff, it's in nicely with the alcohol. Not using regular water on that. There we go. Now we're getting it cleaned out a little bit. All right, good to go. There we go. Now we got her cleared. All righty. Now I've got some whole red and some light brown, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix those kind of together in one of my infamous paint mixing jars here. This is a, again, this is just the Model Air paint. I think if I put too much whole red on it, it won't give the rust effect I'm looking for. So it's best to mix them together in a paint mixing rig like an old pill bottle. I don't want to have Panzer dark gray there. All right. What's that one back there? Aluminum. Oh, got aluminum. What do you know? All righty. Put in a little bit there, see how it mixes. Yeah, it lightens it up a little bit. And the reason I want that is I want surface rust on these caps here, on these tops. One of the advantages to these bottles, if you drop one, it doesn't all right, let's put just a hair of water in here. using all the wife's old water bottles she had sitting in the truck. All right, let's see here. Just a few drops, and we should be good to go. We'll get it thinned out. One thing I can say, that Model Air paint, it sprays a whole lot better than the other. Now, I don't want to rust the car up so badly that especially since it's such a late model car, you know. All righty. All right. Oh, there's the airbrush. Okay. Oh, jeez. Gary, come on. Yeah, that's what I get for sticking the airbrush between my standing screwdriver there. Alrighty. We got it mixed. Put a little in there. Save the rest. Put the cap on tight, like I learned before. Alright. I want the Chinese red to show through, but at the same time, I want a little steel to show through, and I want the, and naturally I want the, yeah, especially on this top part. Now we're not going to have a whole bunch of, because it's such a late. Alright. Turn them around. And because this is ribbed just like a boxcar roof, you don't want to okay. Now we want to set the car up like this because we want some rust and dust on the underneath there. And we can stand it back up right away. Get the trucks. Obviously get the trucks. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and... yeah, okay. While we're at it, let's go ahead and get this car too. Okay. Now, again, we're going to go around the inside of the car. We're going to go around the inside of the car along the inner walls of the and just work it in there. Whoops! Need some more rust. Where'd I put it? Oh, there it is. All right. All right. Now I can come back over and with a brush put the wood color in and with cheap craft paints and stuff and so it doesn't really matter what I put on the decking. And of course that car's usually got its covers on it. Alright, we're going to come along the sides here and just let her pick up some rust. That doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad at all. Although I'm getting a little bit of a almost looks too red, don't it? We blow some of that off. Alright. Yeah, it's not going to look too bad. Let it dry, and the car has some mileage on it, you know what I mean? One thing that Model Air stuff does, though, is it runs through the airbrush pretty darn quick. I'd say it's like PDQ with that stuff. We'll get the cap on, maybe that'll slow the stuff down. Okay. Okay, let's let the car dry a little bit. And we'll be back with it. Okay, my apologies for getting the cars to an almost done state without realizing that I didn't have any film in the camera. Yeah, that's it. Now, I had taken and started working on that and didn't pay attention to the fact that I didn't hit the trigger on the camera, and when I didn't hit the trigger on the camera, obviously. So, another mistake made, right? Alrighty. Get the inside a little bit, I guess. Well, I'm out of paint. That's all right. I was intending to run out. I got everything I needed to get anyway. So, with that color, I'm going to go ahead and clean out the airbrush again with some alcohol. I just use regular rubbing alcohol to clean it out. Not a difficult test to do at all. And I'm going to come back with some, I think some engine gray. Oh, airbrushes can be such messy little things, can't they? Alrighty, let's go ahead and put a little more alcohol in, make sure that the internals are cleaned out. Alrighty, we're good to go. All right. Now to come back to rust again, I think I'm going to have to go with... that's not looking too awful bad now, is it? Now these cars are pretty much there. Gotta hand it to them, they're looking pretty good. Gee, looks like I need to trim one of those down all of a sudden. I know the paint didn't make it that fat. There we go. Now it's in. And that car, I need to come over it with some black, of course. Nice thin black. Yeah, it's got to have a little soot on it. It spent a little time at the Union Pacific steam program, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it, or my name isn't William Jefferson Clinton. That's the honest God's truth, you know? All right. Get a little bit of black in there. These cars are almost El Dundo. Now, you know, on that covered gondola, I'm sure you're asking, well, why did I take and do something so silly like put, detail the inside of the car? Well, because sometimes these cars didn't run with covers on them. So, all right. Oh my goodness. Let me blow that off of there. Well, okay. That don't look too bad. Little bit of streak down the side. You know, if that car was made and it was built in 1999, why is it in Chinese Burlington red? That's what I want to know. If it's a thoroughly modern car, why is it in Chinese red? It's not looking too bad with that there, is it? Now, weathering, when you're looking for rust, dust, soot, and stuff like that, you got to realize everything kind of hits the top of the car and kind of washes down. So, yeah, that's looking all right. And so, you know, with your airbrush techniques, should be doing about the same thing. Now, why am I making these videos 2 days in a row? Well, because yesterday's was such a disaster that I felt like I just didn't have an excuse for that. So, anyway, I got 2 of my 4 long gondolas pretty much done today. And I'm liking it. I think it looks good. I've made a nice mess of that one, haven't I? I'm going to deem these cars El Finito, almost. Damn. All right. I have another car that's identical to these from the same company, same manufacturer, K-Line. And yet, what gets you is I've got one in plastic. Well, I pretty much got these cars El Finito. So, I'm going to go ahead and break down the airbrush and clean it up. And we'll call her a day on this. And, well, of course we want to see these cars in the running, right? Give me a few minutes. And there she goes with her freshly weathered rolling stock. I'd say it looks pretty good. Let's get it coming around that curve again, shall we? That Pennsylvania car was done a couple of years ago when I first got it. That's an old Atlas car. And it's equipped with KD couplers. We're going to try that shot again. I didn't zoom back properly. So everything was kind of probably out of focus and didn't look too good there, did it? Yeah, I'd say those cars are looking pretty darn good. They turned out good. That's the thing about weathering, and that's probably why it's one of the most intimidating things for a lot of people. Because they think they got to have a lot of technical know-how for the weathering, and you really don't. You don't need any technical know-how. Just need to be dangerous with an airbrush. That Chinese red Burlington car turned out really nice, though, and I'm glad of that, because that's like one of my favorite schemes to weather. I need to get a few box cars with that scheme on it, you know. Anyway, I hope I didn't get in the way of the camera too much this time. And in the next episode, we're not going to use the airbrush at all. I know, you're happy to hear that, right? Nope. In that one, we will probably be using paintbrushes and actual paint. Now, mind you, it'll be a lot of the same paints that we're already using, but yeah, I'll show you how I do it. That's not necessarily how it's done, but I'll show you how I do it. So, until next time, happy railroading.